Hi, I'm Nadia, and this is Under Construction. Today we'll be talking about borderline personality disorder. What is borderline personality disorder? It is a mental disorder that impacts the way you think, view yourself, as well as those around you. Right? It causes problems functioning in everyday situations, especially social situations, interpersonal situations. It includes self-image issues and issues managing your emotions and your behavior, right? And it usually develops in early adulthood and gets worse if it develops in young adulthood and uh starts to sort of even out and get better with age. Right? So what sucks is going through the symptoms when I was doing my research, I realized again, I've had this for a long time. And it's very interesting when that happens because it's like if I had just gotten help when I thought something was wrong, because there was a point where I thought something was wrong, but I was like, no, no, I don't want to be attention seeking. I might have been able to uh, sort of age up with very few social interaction problems. I was always very awkward, very, snappy, violent. I'm not violent, but like, angry type of thing. But yeah. Um, the symptoms uh, are a lot. And I've got my notes, and I'm going to be looking down at my notes a lot because it's a lot, right? But let's get through it. Intense fear of abandonment, even to go as far as to take extreme measures to avoid perceived abandonment. Um, Things like it's yeah, the fear of abandonment could be as simple as just noticing that your friend isn't talking to you as much as she used to, or she is talking to someone else, and you take these, crazy um, measures, crazy steps to avoid that perceived abandonment. I personally do not know. I haven't had that situation. I was a stewer. I would notice that, so I'd realize I was being abandoned and then sort of just stew in it. And just, oh, I hate this person. You know? Um, Pattern of unstable, intense relationships. For example, um, idolizing someone, right? 1 minute, this person is your be all end all, 1 minute, and then next minute they're trash. They're a terrible person. And it also, uh, it also has extreme, extreme intense relationships with people, right? Where you can't like just be friends. You are super best friends. If you decide that you like someone, you're gonna keep them. They're yours, right? Until they do one thing, and it's like, that person's evil. you know. And I have had those friendships where they were unstable, they were toxic, and I held on because I didn't want to be abandoned by them, and I didn't want, and I didn't see the toxicity between them and myself, right? This was friends, this was boyfriends, this is, yeah, it happens with every uh, relationship that you form, yeah. Rapid changes in self-identity and including shifting goals and values. that is me all over, because I started out wanting to be a pediatrician. I even got accepted with a scholarship to do pre-med, and now I'm a pastry chef. It's constant change of what you want to be, right? Because that's not even like a linear, I went from doctor to marketer to journalist to, just constant change of my self identity and who I thought I was, you know, until I got to where I am now, which is medicated. That's my self identity right now. Because, yeah, the constant change is it's not healthy. You need to get to a point where this is who I am, right? And with BPD, you don't actually have that moment where you're able to say at a good age, this is who I am, right? This is what I want. This is what I'll accept. This is what I won't accept. Things like that. But, I mean, it wasn't a terrible journey. It was just a really long one. I'm 29 and I only just became a pastry chef. Yeah. Sorry. Periods of stress-related paranoia and loss of contact with reality, lasting for a few minutes to a few hours. When I'm stressed, my number one thought is that I'm being watched. That doing what I'm doing, I have to be doing it perfectly because someone is watching me. Sort of like that. Like, I know no one's watching me, but I know that it has to be perfect because, it has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. And as for the loss of contact with reality, that happens a lot. I used to zone out for the longest time. And yeah, I thought it was just, zoning out. But now I know better. Impulsive or risky behavior. I feel like this is a theme. Drug use, hypersexuality. I struggled with that. I'm currently 2 years clean. 2.5 years. Yeah. And like, risky behavior becomes just who you are. You become just a crazy, I'm crazy, I do crazy things, and you do this because it's an impulse, right? You're not trying to deal with anything. It's just an impulse to, do something crazy or do something risky or, do someone risky, right? Suicidal thoughts. Suicidal thoughts, threats, and behavior, including self-injury. Again, this one's, yeah, it's a theme here. Yeah. But it's also an impulse thing. The impulse tells you, right, to cut your hands, or that's what I did. I cut my hands. They're healed now and the scars are almost gone away. Suicide, suicidal thoughts are difficult because when you get to that point, there's no asking for help. And you do get those thoughts. What if, you know, what if I just, like when you're holding a knife, what if I just stab myself? What if I just cut my hand off? What if, what if, what if, what if, what if? And yeah. But, oh, yeah. Inappropriate, intense anger, frequent, frequently losing your temper, being sarcastic, or getting into fights. I am a sarcastic and bitter human being, right? And I have been since I was a teenager, which is when I think the BPD kicked in. Because so I think it developed because I have always been very volatile, low key, right? Very volatile, very quick to anger, right? Um, I have gotten in fights, like, I know I look like, you know, no, I've gotten into fights, and again, it's impulse control, the basic, um, lowest common denominator when it comes to BPD is impulse control. It ruins your impulse control. And because of that, you sometimes do things out of character. Uh, Sometimes you're extra explosive. I've had people tell me to calm down like multiple times a day. Like, you know, yeah, but that's my notes. My experience with borderline personality disorder has been a annoying one, painful. I can't control my impulses. Um, my impulse control is like nothing, right? If I want to do something, I want to do it, right? My husband luckily um, manages to rein me in, but yeah. And borderline personality disorder is treatable. There's no cure, but there is treatment. And you do not want to go untreated, or for anyone you love to go untreated. Because while they losing the battle and we're pretending like it's not happening, we're losing people. Borderline personality disorder is also a disorder that can lead towards suicidal thoughts, suicidal threats, suicidal actions. We need to normalize this. Borderline personality disorder is a disorder. It's a medical disorder. And it requires going to the doctor and getting medicated, just like any other disease. Go to the doctor and get medicated. Let's normalize this. Borderline personality disorder is just an illness. And it's an illness that needs to be treated. And yeah. Anyway, that's me signing off. Under construction. Love, peace, chin grease. Love you.